Welcome to the MS&Me Radio Network. The broadcast shows are for informational and entertainment purposes only. They are not designed to provide listeners with specific personal, medical, or counseling advice. Individuals with a medical issue should always consult their healthcare provider. MS&Me is not responsible for content of individual shows. The views expressed by show hosts or the guests are their own. Enjoy the show.
Hi y'all, it's Tori, MS Girl, you know the one. Hope you guys all had a great summer. It's been going fast. It's already August 1st, and here I am thinking, oh my gosh, I just remembered right now that I need to do my recording for MS&Me Radio, which I do the first Saturday of every month. So thank you to Erica and her staff and everybody that volunteers or works for MS&Me Radio. You guys do an amazing job. You work so hard and you are doing so much for the MS and anybody that is affected by the MS community. So I do appreciate that. But to be real honest with you, I just about forgot that I was supposed to record. So all of a sudden I just remembered. So anyways, as you know, if you are a follower of mine, I've been going through a lot of transitions. Our home was being modified. My health has been up and down. We're having some transitions with our children's schooling. A kid is going off to college. Another one is changing schools. My husband's job changed, even though he's in the same profession. He just had to change a different school. He's coaching a different team. So a lot of changes going on in our life. And it's a little stressful, and that's what I talked about last time was good stress and bad stress. So we've been going through good stress this summer, but transitional. And I really thought that this year was going to be an amazing, I'm going to be healing. And of course, I don't mean healed, but healing and doing better or thriving more. And things are going to be wonderful, and I'm going to be happy, and I'm not going to be struggling all the time and this, that, and the other. Of course, that didn't happen. It's up and down, up and down, up and down roller coaster, which everybody has in their life. So I don't know why I had a pity party over that. But, everybody kind of goes through their own thing. So what I've kind of been working on lately, I need to get some positive stuff going on in my life. So I started dressing differently. So for a long time, I worked at the district attorney's office for 23 years, and I dressed up nicely for that. And I loved my clothes. I looked cute in my clothes and adored all my clothes. And then when my daughter and I went through my closet and we were getting rid of my clothes, it was very heavy on my heart because I was like, oh, I loved that. I wore it all the time. I looked so cute in it. So I ended up keeping like 2 or 3 or 4 items, but most of the stuff I ended up giving away. When will I ever wear that again? Never. So hopefully the clothes that we donated go to somebody that needs them, somebody that's going to go to a professional place and work and some clothes that they like and that fit them well. And so I had to give them away, clear out my closet. Then I went through a stage as I've been home and I've been rehabbing neurologically where I wore only sweats and activewear. And I don't know if any of you have YouTubed the activewear video, but it's hilarious. Just Google YouTube activewear, and it's just funny. It's women, they're all wearing activewear, but none of them are doing anything active. They're all doing something different, which is kind of me because, as active as I can be is maybe walking 44 steps with my walker. But so I went into this stage where I was all activewear. And then all of a sudden I kind of thought to myself, maybe I ought to start like dressing a little nicer. And not that I need to dress up because I very rarely go anywhere. So, how many times do I get out of the house? 2-3 times a month. And if I do, most of the time the doctor's office. But what I did find is that even when I dress nicer, and I'm not talking dressing up, I'm just talking putting myself together and dressing up nicer, that I am kinder and I am more productive and I do better with my day. And so I kind of started this new thing. I call it Tori's Trends. If you follow me on MS Girl, you know the one on Facebook, or MS Girl _Wampy on Instagram, you'll see Tori's Trends. And I've just kind of been, well, I have to internet shop because I don't really go shopping, but just getting kind of cuter clothes. So they're not dressy, they're not fancy, they're just a little bit cuter. The tops are nicer, sometimes I wear skirts, sometimes I wear pants. I can talk about the shoes in a little bit, but it just makes me feel better, and it makes me feel more human, because when we have multiple sclerosis, obviously for me personally, not only do I not physically and mentally feel well, but a lot of times it makes me feel really ugly and gross. And when I dress up and try and put myself together, I have a more productive day and I feel better about myself. So I've kind of got some cute clothes going on that, they're not expensive. I've just been scouring the internet and ordering them, and they actually look really cute. And I actually look really good and feel really good when I wear them. And getting compliments from my family or people that come over to visit, or when I go out, which is not very often, like I said. I used to wear contacts every single day, and now I only wear them on very rare occasions. So I have these glasses that I would put on at night when I took my glasses off, or when I took my contacts out. And my poor glasses are so outdated, and they're like 9 or 10 years old. And so I actually got myself to the eye doctor, and not only did my prescription change, but I got a cute pair of glasses. So I'm waiting for those to come in. Can't wait. I'm super excited to get those. They're kind of trendy, like you'll see when you kind of, scour through what's in and what's not. And so I'm excited about that. And I got really excited because my insurance actually kicked in and helped me out for a change, and I really didn't have to pay a whole bunch like you normally do when you get new glasses. So that was a huge, nice surprise. But I was going to just kind of talk about what I've been wearing and what is easily and accessible for disabilities. And I can go for men and women. Of course, the men aren't going to wear some of the girly stuff, but there are some new tricks I've learned. And there's also some disability sites that you can just Google in, like disability trends or disability clothes, or easy access disability clothing, and you can find cute things. And so all the stuff doesn't have to come from that. Other stuff can just come from any regular store. But, if they're easy to get in and out of, that helps out. Makes you feel good. You can kind of put yourself together. Makes you feel human. Because a lot of times with multiple sclerosis or any chronic illness, you just don't feel human. You feel gross. You feel yucky. You feel like, gosh, I just want to feel like a human being. And sometimes, even with love, people that love me say things to me like, oh, well, you don't need to dress up. You're not going anywhere. And sometimes I'm like, you know what? I just want to feel human. I want to feel like a human being. I want to put on a nice t-shirt and a cute pair of pants. I want to put on a necklace. I want to put on a cute pair of glasses, not the same glasses that I've been wearing for the past 10 years. So I think that that's important. I think that if you are able and not sick enough, or if you're having a really good day, that it's a positive, good thing that you should do, or all of us should do. And I've learned some tricks around the corners. So let me tell you some of the tricks that I've learned. So as most of you know, right now I'm using a wheelchair or a walker. So I don't have an invisible illness, but this can help with people who also are invisible with their MS because of fatigue levels and everything. But there's lots of shirts that, are opened at the top, or they're gappy, that you can pull over up and down, which are really easy to get in and out of. And if you want to use buttons or zippers, there's lots of disability stores or disability websites that you can go to that have little contraptions that help you button your clothes or zip up your clothes or zip up your pants or whatever if you want to do that. I personally like the stuff that you slip on and off just because it makes it easier for me for more reasons than just getting dressed and stuff. But, when you have to use the restroom, sometimes you need to pull something off really quickly rather than trying to unbutton or button things. So I've been wearing lots of maxi skirts. They're long. You can pull them up. You can pull them down easy. You can get them in all lengths. You can get them shorter, mid-length, and longer. And you can buy them at a variety of different stores, or I even think some of those personal shop places, people that have their own businesses that from home sell them. I've gotten most of mine actually through the internet from, all the different common stores. I've gotten a lot of cute tops from there. I've gotten just some cute things that are easy to put on. And one thing that I learned when I was in rehab, that it's easier if you put your weak leg or your weaker arm in your clothes first and then put on your stronger stuff. You do better if you do it that way. So you should probably do your weaker side first, and then it's easier to get on and off. And I noticed that really does work for me, and I do that. So I think that just really helps. I know that there's a lot of sites with disability clothing that helps for people that are in wheelchairs and that need to help get their clothes on and off. And I also know that there's lots of videos, YouTube videos or whatever, that help with that. So I've watched some of those. But for me, I'm doing the clothes. They look cute, but they're easier to access as far as accessibility. So that is one of my new things, Tori's Trends. And it makes me feel better. I feel better. I am more productive throughout the day. It's just a positive thing. And I think that when we have multiple sclerosis, a lot of us need to have positive things in our life. And if dressing nicely or not being in your pajamas all day or not wearing the same outfit every single day makes you feel better, then that's good. I know that a lot of people wear AFOs or those Bioness braces. I don't know too much about them because I personally don't wear one, but I know that there are a lot of websites and there's a lot of talk on some of the Facebook groups that Erica runs through this group about shoes, and people will ask what shoe is best for an AFO, and lots of people will comment. So that's a good resource to look at. So you don't always have to wear tennis shoes. I personally don't wear one of those, but I can't walk very well. I mean, I walk like maybe 44 steps with my walker, and then I got to sit down and rest in my wheelchair. So when I don't want to wear my tennis shoes, I know what works for me are those yoga sandals, and they're made out of yoga mat, but they have like this stretchy material that wrap around your feet, and they look kind of cute, and you can get them in all different designs or colors, and mine are just black, but they don't fall off your feet when you're trying to walk or when you're in the wheelchair or anything. And so those have been working for me. I also know like ballet flats work for me. Now for men, it's probably different, of course, but you don't always have to wear tennis shoes that you have to tie. I know that there's lots of shoes that you can slip on and off, both for men and women, and I think that might help. Because tying shoes, I can tie my own shoes, but it takes a long time. I can't just whip it out. So sometimes my fine motor skills are not to the level where I can just like whip out and tie my shoe really great. Other days I can. So it just kind of depends. And I know this doesn't apply to men, but also I know that when I try and put myself together, and even if it's not a full face of makeup, but just a little mascara and eyeshadow and blush or lipstick or whatever, and put my hair up nice, that kind of makes me feel better too. Or you can add a scarf or a necklace or whatever it is. For a man, you can add a watch or, whatever makes you feel comfortable. But sometimes you just have to feel good. And I know a lot of people accessorize with their disability aids. So I know that it's kind of a trend right now. And there's a lot of websites that you can go and look at that have like different kinds of canes or walkers, and I think even wheelchairs, where you can get them in different colors or different styles or different whatever. If that's something that you want to do and that adds to your style or that adds to making you feel well, I think that's something that you want to do. I personally don't do that because I feel like I feel kind of self-conscious about that already, which I know is something I've talked about before in the past and something that I'm working on, but I just keep my walker's just plain red. It doesn't have, it's not all decked out or anything, but I think that people that do that are so awesome and I look up to them so much and I wish that I had the courage to do that. But that is a way of accessorizing yourself and making things stand out and making you feel good. I mean, I think one of the things personally, when you feel so crappy all the time, you want to feel good with other things. And whether it be clothes or hair or your disability aid, that helps. That's great. Now, deep down inside, I have to tell you, I am a big, huge believer in kindness, and be the kind person and be the friendly one and be the one that smiles. And that's more important than any kind of clothing or purse or aid or jewelry or anything that you can wear. So obviously that's something that I want to point out. But also, sometimes you just feel like crap. And sometimes you just need something different. And I think that there's resources out there that we can use. We can help each other. We can talk to each other and say, hey, you know what? Guess what? I've been using this brand of skirt, or I know there's these pants, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. They're called palazzo, or I don't know, but they're really wide pants. So if you have AFO underneath your pants, or if you have to wear like a catheter bag, or I don't know, anything else, that's something that you can wear, and then you can get yourself all dressy, and if you're going to a wedding or whatever, that might work. And I think with the maxi skirts or the maxi dresses, I think that works as well. I can't help as much with the men's stuff. I do think the style right now is to like wear shorts, and you don't always have to tuck your shirt in and wear a belt. So I think right now that's kind of the trend on that end of it. So that might help. I'm not quite sure, but I think that that's, a good thing. But we don't always have to be in our sweats. We don't always have to wear our pajamas for 5 days just because we're not going out of the house, which I'm guilty of. I do that often. As a matter of fact, today, and we all know how hard it is when you have MS to take a shower and you're tired and fatigued, which I did in the morning, and I directly put on my pajamas because I knew I wasn't going to go. I have a doctor's appointment Friday, so I know I'm not going anywhere. And so I was like, I'm putting on my pajamas right away. So that's exactly what I did. But I do think that, getting the new glasses that I'm getting, putting on a necklace, wearing a scarf, if it's a purse, if it's tying a scarf around a purse, if it's a watch for a man, or whatever it may be, putting on some perfume or some cologne or whatever it may be, sometimes you just want to feel normal. And sometimes when you have a chronic illness, you really just don't. And that's kind of what got me into this. And I kind of thought, I'm going to just kind of do this little thing called Tori's Trends. And as I order things, I don't know if I'm on a shopping spree because I'm a little depressed, or if I'm on a shopping spree because I want to look nicer, or I can't explain that one. My husband would probably say stop the spending, but I do have to say that I lately have been buying some stuff and wearing it and feeling better about it. So I'm thinking, if there's so many different aspects of multiple sclerosis with our health, physically, mentally, emotionally, family issues, friend issues, so many different things that people go through. If there's one thing that you feel well enough to do and you're able enough to do, put on some clothes that make you feel well. Do your hair that makes you feel good. Put on a little mascara. Put on some cologne if you're a man. Wear something different. Change up your style. Like, I used to have this very strict style. Now I'm kind of going a little different. My daughter's like, "Oh, Mom, that's a little hippie." It's something I probably would have never wore had I still had the life I had before my MS diagnosis and being at home on disability. But now it's like, you know what? I can kind of do whatever I want. I can kind of be the person whatever I want. I can unbecome who I was to become who I'm supposed to be now. And I've quoted that quote before. It is a longer quote, and that's something that I've quoted before. But it's like, I can kind of do that now, and I can do it without feeling, I don't care if I'm being judged, because I'm sure people are judging anyways because of the disability. As I've talked about before, you find the kindness in the world, you also find the cruelest in the world. So it's like, if you're gonna, whatever you're gonna be, you might as well do something you like. Like, I found this little kind of crazy shirt that I would have never probably ever wore before. But you know what? I wore it. I got tons of compliments on it. I felt good in it. And I was like, wow, this turned out to be really good. So I just think maybe going out on a limb, whether it be clothing or anything, any other ideas you guys want to send in to me, msgirl, at gmail.com, or comment on Erica's MS&Me radio blog, or whatever it is, my Facebook page or Instagram, whatever, that you have ideas. It doesn't have to be clothing. It could actually really be anything. But it's like, we can, yes, we're dealing with a very difficult disease. And yes, we're dealing with something that is very hard to deal with. But we can kind of be whoever we want now. I mean, we don't have to be bitter and angry about what's going on. We can be grateful for everything. And if we want to wear a crazy shirt that makes us look like a hippie, or if we want to wear a really nice shirt that makes us feel good about ourselves, or if we want to do something out on the limb that's crazy that we would have never done before, let's do it, because we already have to deal with this really crappy disease. So let's go ahead and deal with let's just do and be who we want to be. I mean, let's just own it. Own what we want and own what we want to do. And that might help us feel better mentally. Obviously, maybe even physically. Maybe you'll be like, oh, wow, I really feel good today because I'm all put together and I actually walked farther than I did yesterday, or I actually, did more today. I unloaded the dishwasher, or I got off the sofa and didn't watch TV all day long, or I could make my bed today, or whatever it is. I just think, you know what? Be you. That's all I can say, is be you. And we already have to deal with what we have to deal with. So we might as well be able to not be afraid to do things that we were probably either afraid of being judged or afraid of, I don't know, whatever our fear was prior to that. We don't have to have that anymore. because we've already dealt with the unfathomable. We've already dealt with what we've had to deal with as MS. By living with MS every day, we are already dealing with a whole bunch of stuff. So we might as well make it worth it, right? If you want to wear a shirt that says I have MS, great. If you want to wear a really cute shirt, great. You want to wear a bunch of jewelry, great. You want to go on a trip that you're able to, if you're physically, mentally able to, do it. You want to get a car, you can get it, do it. You want to get a pet, service dog, whatever, do it. Just be you. Do what you were afraid to do before you had MS, because when you have MS, a lot of your fears are not really as bad as you think they are, because we've dealt with the crap. We've dealt with everything, the MRIs, the spinal taps, the infections, the infusions, the steroids. We've dealt with all of that. So in the meantime, let's do something easy that makes us feel good. So hope you all feel good. Hope you all have a good week. Thanks again to Erica and her staff. And until I talk to you next month, be brave and be you. All right? Talk to you later. Bye.